Hey everyone, my name is Zephyr and welcome to my video walkthrough for Midas. This model is obviously a pairing with Greed from my 7th Sin series. I do consider him to be a part of that entire series. This whole avatar kind of began as a passion project, and as I developed him, he ended up becoming kind of more than that. and I actually started to integrate a little bit of story and background and lore for him as well as for Greed. And you know, I plan on maybe trying to create more characters with stories and backgrounds and kind of involving those stories in how I present these avatars to you guys. So I hope you enjoy this model, and with all that said, let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff. So this is how the entire model looks like in game, right off the bat when you get it into game. So as you can see, I'll give you kind of full view of the model here. To start, we'll go through his toggles. He has dissolve toggles for everything. He has a couple different outfit swaps. So, for example, you can change from this kind of more dress shirt top to the corset, or to the harness, or to nothing at all. There you go. You can just be topless if you want. He also has the option to change into boxers, because why not, you know? Might as well throw that in there. That's it for basic clothing toggles. There's also the accessories, so this includes the gloves, the shoes, his necklace, if you don't want that there. There's also the chains on his arms, you can toggle that off, his blindfold. There's a couple other toggles, but those are in different menus, so I'll go over them in just a little bit. But that's it for his basic toggles. So next is the dragon menu. In this menu, you can toggle the wings off, and you can also toggle the horns and tail. If anyone has bought Greed, they'll know that this is different. On Greed, it just toggles all the dragon parts at once. I just did a little differently for Midas, so hopefully that is not too much of a problem for anyone. He also has wing control, so he can move his wings in kind of a 4-directional form, so you can kind of mess around with that if you want. He also has the Greed mode. I'm just going to quickly toggle the top off so you can see kind of more clearly what happens. But it is a similar idea to what happens with Greed. It's a dissolve toggle with a little bit of particle effects to kind of make a smooth transition. So here is the toggle. Yeah. So all this skin texturing and tattooing is all done by hand. I can show you the back as well. Let me turn those wings off. Yeah, so hopefully you appreciate these tattoos. It took me a while to make them, but I think they look good in the end, so that's it for the dragon menu. Next is the slider menu. There's a couple of different things you can do here, namely size sliders. So there is a tail size slider for that. So if you want it a little bit smaller or whatever, you can adjust it how you like. And the wing size as well, that can be adjusted to being something smaller, in case you don't like how big his wings are. And then there's also the hue shift. Hue shift applies to basically everything that has color in it. I've stayed in the dragon mode so you can see how this looks like fully. Yeah, so you can just change it to any color you want. And this will affect, like, the hair. On the blonde version, it also affects the color of the hair as well. Yeah. So that's just one of his many features. So the next menu is the toys. This includes basically just a bunch of props. One of the first ones you'll see in there is a coin spring joint. This is the same spring joint that Greed has. It's double jointed. You activate it in the menu, and then you use your pointer gesture to basically move it around from hand to hand or between both if you want. Yeah, just a basic spring joint, nothing more, nothing less. Then you have the whip and the cane, and let's just start with the whip. So the whip can be held in either hand, and it will dissolve in and out. So I put it into my right hand. You see it'll dissolve in, and you can also switch hands, and it won't dissolve in and out when you do this. So if I want to switch it into the left hand, I just toggle it. The first go is always a bit slow, but then afterwards it's fine. You can switch no problem, like so. And it'll dissolve out when you turn it off, no matter what hand it's in. This is the same concept for the cane, except it can be held in 4 different positions rather than just 2. So, for example, you can hold it in the right hand by its shaft, or in the left hand by its shaft. The other option is to hold it by its handle, and you can hold it in either hand. Another little added point is dragon mode when you have these props out. So let me just get the whip into my hand here. So both of these props, when he changes into his greed mode, go ahead and activate it. As you can see, they turn gold. So this is kind of a play on his name, Midas. So it's the idea that when he's in this mode, his powers activate, and so his touch turns objects into gold. Yeah. And there's one more thing in the toy menu, but I'll show it when I show the gestures off, because it's a tongue toggle, and you'll be able to see it better up close. So yeah, we'll move on from here. So the last 2 parts of the menu to go over is dislocomotion and the NSFW stuff. Dislocomotion essentially is, it's just for full body users. If you want to basically turn that off or on, it's there. So that way you can kind of float instead of walking around, for example. And then for the NSFW stuff, this model has DPS set up on it. You have to own your own copy of DPS and import it before you import this models package into Unity to have that whole system work. If you are curious about my recommendations for how to import the model into Unity, please refer to the README that you'll see can be downloaded with the files of the avatar, if you decide to purchase it, of course. I want to keep this safe for work, so I'm not going to show anything here, but I think in general people can get an idea of what that all means. So yeah, so that's it for pretty much all the menu stuff. So I just wanted to show you the darker skin. Basically, this entire model is exactly the same model. The only difference is that it has a darker skin tone. This is not a toggle in-game. If you want the darker skin, you have to upload it as a separate model. It's all set up for you in Unity. You just need to choose which version, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to quickly go through some of his gestures. I use the high combo gesture. So none of his gestures will combine oddly. It all kind of smoothly combines with each other. Yeah, but to begin, I'll just go through all of them. So open hand, just plain happy face, calm happy face. You got the point, which is kind of subtle. I've explained in other videos that I often use the finger point for spring joints, so I tend to keep it more subtle so there's no extreme facial expressions when you're using the spring joint. Next is the piece. So he's got his tongue out, he's got a tongue piercing, and he has dollar signs in his eyes. playing off of Matching Greed. He has Angie Face, which is rock and roll, or middle finger for anyone who doesn't have knuckle controllers. He has the finger guns, a smirk, and he has thumbs up, which is a happy face. I'm also going to show you here his tongue. So when you toggle it on, it'll be in the toy menu. This is what it does. Opens up the mouth for you. I suggest you have gestures off when you use this, because otherwise it's gonna look kind of a little bit too extreme. Yeah, wiggles around. His tongue is black when he's in the greed mode. Kind of gives him a more demon-y vibe, as you can see. Yeah. So that's it for gestures. So that's the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching this. I originally had wanted to do a fancier showcase, but as I kind of saw in a vote that you guys hopefully saw on my server, most people didn't seem very, very interested in having fancier showcases for avatars, and since I didn't have a lot of time before I'm leaving for a big trip, I kind of just opted out to doing it for now. That goes without saying that I think that I will probably move forward only making like technical videos like this for models. I think it's nice that I get to speak with all of you and kind of directly show you my work instead of just seeing the model kind of, you know, do some sexy dance moves. I feel like I have a little bit more of a connection with you guys making these kinds of videos. However, I do feel like I might end up doing fancier showcases as somewhat of a passion project instead. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I have gotten really into kind of creating lore for all these characters, and I think it could be really fun to interpret that lore through videos. Now, I don't know any of the details for this. This is, of course, just a kind of a dream at the moment, but you know, who knows? Maybe it'll happen and you guys will get to know my characters a bit more. In any case, thank you so much. I really hope you all love this model. I was pretty nervous releasing this one because I haven't made a male model, like a big one like this, in so long, but I worked really hard on him, and I just hope that you guys can enjoy this sexy man. So have a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you're from, and thank you for watching. Bye! God, he's fucking hot. Alright, okay, stop simping over your own avatar. Jesus Christ.